Normal is broke and common sense is weird. So we're here to help you transform your life. From the Ramsey Network and the Fairwinds Credit Union Studio, this is The Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey personality #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today as we take your questions at 888-825-5225. Sarah is in Alabama. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Okay, so my fiance and I have been together for 13 years off and on. We have 2 daughters, 5 and 10, and a year ago, or 2 years ago, we uprooted and moved to his hometown in the middle of nowhere, Alabama. We bought a home. We have since had a house fire a year later, and right now we're renting. We decided that we were going to get married at the beginning of next year in March, and we decided that at the beginning of this year. Well, right? Slow down, pump the brakes. But well, he got rebaptized. He got baptized for the first time. He has always been a complete non-believer.
Oh, wow.
Totally was against it. And after the fire, he got baptized. I got saved again. My daughter's been saved again, and it was definitely something that, as a family, we were moving towards in the holy, trying to live life right in God's eyes.
And so the fire was kind of the catalyst for all of you? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely. And we're all still on that page. We're devout in Bible study and church and all that good stuff. But we just realized that we're not going to be able to afford the wedding. Mm-hmm. And there have been other things, infidelity, stuff like that has happened throughout our past, trauma that's just kind of carried over. Mm-hmm. And have you
done any counseling?
We have not. We've talked about it plenty of times. And honestly, where we're at right now, there's not very many resources.
What do you mean by that?
We're involved in our church. There are not very many mental health resources. I come from
They're in the middle of
Orleans
nowhere, Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, there are really great online.
Yeah, like BetterHelp. Like BetterHelp, those guys. Okay, let's play pretend for a second. Are you've been doing this a long time?
Yes. You
have 2 kids that if we keep this up much more, they're going to be in college.
Right.
I mean, this is just going on a long time. Your spiritual awakening is wonderful, that you met God, and I want to start living by the book. And so the ship has sailed on little 18-year-old Sarah walking down the aisle in an expensive wedding in a white dress. That was like a decade ago. It's gone. So go get married. Like today. Tomorrow.
What if everything isn't where it should be?
Honey,
you've been going this long.
You've been going this long. You know where everything. What is not in the right place? My God. I mean, if it's not where it should be, you should have been gone like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and Sarah, with the life changes that you guys are making, I'd like to think that the worst is behind you guys and that you're going to start going in another direction. And to Dave's point, yeah, today or next week when you get married and you go down to the courthouse and you just fill out the papers and legalize it for all of your benefit, there could be a day in the future where you renew your vows and you do the white dress and you walk down the aisle and you do that big party that you wanted. But just because that's not going to be today or next week when you get married doesn't mean it can't happen ever.
I just want to break this idea that you need to save up for a big wedding. Mm-hmm. It's like, that was a decade ago. Just go get married.
But I didn't even want a big wedding.
Well, then why do you need money for a wedding? Then you don't need money for a wedding.
I mean,
just go down call your preacher and say, "Can you marry us?" And he'll say, "Yes." We met God.
Fair enough.
We met God, and we know that now we need to be married in order to sleep together. And so we're going to get married. Will you marry us? We want to be right. Mm-hmm. We want to do this right. And preacher's going to say yes. And then you go get your license and you go get married.
And if it makes you feel any better, this is a small technicality, but it could make you feel better. Everybody gets married and gets the license before they walk down the aisle in the dress? Everybody, because you have to have that first, and the legal part's done first anyway. So for you, you're just going to be delaying the part where you walk down the aisle, but everybody gets the certificate first.
Yeah, have you a celebration. But I mean, you guys have been doing this for 13 freaking years. I mean, this is not, it's not like, that's in the rearview mirror. Mm-hmm. But the only question I've got is you do want to make sure that you're saying, okay, now that we're in this headspace of we're walking with God now, and both of us are there, and we've been through the trauma of a house fire, which is very traumatic. Mm-hmm. Now that we've done all that, I'm looking in the eyes of my two kids that the two of you made together, and you're going, okay, is there anything that's so broken here that we can't work through it? Because to me, it's almost as if you've been married 13 years, and you're calling me, asking me if you need to get a divorce. Mm. And I didn't hear anything in this discussion that called for that.
That's a good way to look at it, Dave.
And so, the only question is now we're formalizing this because we have a better spiritual understanding of how life works, and we're going to plug into that, and you're just going to formalize it. And here's then what you're saying is, for better, for worse, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does hit different though when you put the ring on it, because then there's no escape valve, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they do need to do premarital counseling, even though they've been together 13 years.
Or just go do marital counseling.
Yeah, marital
after you
counseling.
Get married. Go, okay, we kind of ought to dig through this toy box a little bit and see what's going on here. There's stuff going on here. And, and make sure we've got that kind of stuff cleared out. Because, I mean, it's like, we were with some friends this weekend and been married 50 years. We've been married 43 years.
Wow.
That's how old we are. We had to shoo dinosaurs out of the yard to get married. And so, what they were laughing. I said, Sharon, they said, what's the secret? And Sharon said, David says, if I leave, he's going with me.
Oh, there you go.
And that's the secret right
You're
there.
not getting away.
That's about how it sounded,
You're
too.
not getting away
She
from
dropped
me.
into that southern hillbilly mountain twang and went all down in it. I'm just saying. But, yeah.
Wow.
That's great. That's the truth. I told her. It's an old Zig Ziglar line. I've been telling her for years. I said, if you leave, I'm going with you. So just, go ahead and pack both suitcases because I'll be following you right along.
Wow.
Because otherwise, I'll go hungry. It's not good. So.
Oh, that's
great. Hey, kiddo, I'm proud for where you guys are, and I'm proud for where you're going. The best is in front of you. The worst is behind you. You start walking with Jesus, and both of you do that. You'll learn things that you never learned before. You'll see things you've never seen before. And it won't be without its problems. It won't be without bumps in the road, but you will get there. And you're setting those kids up for a much better life. You're setting yourselves up for a much better life, and I'm proud for where you're going.
3 most important decisions I ever made. Number 1, following Jesus. Number 2, who I married, Sam Warshaw. Number 3, choosing to get on a plan for money and get out of debt and build wealth. 3 most important.
There we go. Boom. Big list. Big list.
Y'all, do you want to know a game changer for your grocery budget? Start your weekly shopping at Aldi. Seriously, by making Aldi your first stop, you can easily check off your family favorites. From fresh organic produce to grass-fed ground beef, marinated, ready-to-cook chicken breasts, and high-quality dairy products. You'll be able to make incredible meals while keeping your budget on track. So no overpriced gimmicks or membership fees here. Now, real families like yours are saving up to $4,000 a year just by making Aldi their go-to grocery store every week. Find a store near you at aldi.us. That's ALDI.us.
Savings based on regional analysis of Aldi versus select competitors. Prices may vary by location, product availability, and the market.
Michael is in Canada. Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I always told myself if I ever got through, I'd have to hear you say it. So how are you doing, Dave?
Better than I deserve.
That's fantastic. Jade, I actually asked you this question on IG Live a couple months ago, and you wanted more details. You wanted the numbers for it. So my wife and I are both 38. Today's actually my birthday. We are on baby steps 4, 5, and 6, and we own 2 properties. Our primary house, which is valued at about $650, and we owe $265 on it. And then we have a cabin recreational property that we bought for $325. It's worth about $425, and we owe about $214 on it. Now, in Canada, we have these weird mortgages where they amortize over 15, 20, or 25 years, but the interest rate comes up for renewal every 5 years. So the cabin is coming up in the spring, where we're going to renew that, which gives me the opportunity, if I wanted to take equity out of the cabin, and then I could transfer that equity into our primary residence. This would just help us pay off our house sooner, maybe provide us with that financial piece a little bit earlier of owning our own home. And I was curious what your opinions were on that.
Do the interest rates compare?
Yeah, so actually the house is a little bit more. The house is at 4.5. Right now it's looking like the cabin would renew around 3.9. So it's about a 0.5% difference.
So they treat your cabin as a personal residence in terms of interest rate?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, because in the States, your second homes and rental properties have a higher interest rate.
Yeah, here we can still take advantage of the same mortgage rates.
Okay.
Again, we just get stuck with this thing every 5 years, so it can vary more.
So your idea is to take out a HELOC on the cabin?
No, it's just extra. Do a cash out refinance.
Yeah, so we can do
okay.
Not a HELOC. They're going to redo the mortgage.
Understood.
Reset the mortgage and take another $200 out, I guess, or so, right?
Yeah, it'd be about $100 probably I could get out of the cabin. We have to leave 25% in there.
What's your household income?
It's about $240.
Okay. So if you owe $165 on your house because you move $100 over to the cabin, how fast do you pay that off?
Well, so right now I'm forecasted about 5 years out. Something, and this would probably speed up to about 3. That's really where our focus is paying off our house, and then we'd move to the cabin after that. So it would move up that goal of paying off the house, but overall paying off the house and the cabin, I'm still looking in probably the same time frame of maybe closer to 8 years.
Yeah, that sounds right. Maybe sooner, but yeah, depending on how tight you pull that budget down. But yeah, okay, all right. Well, it's just a risk analysis thing of, if you could pay off one or the other completely, we would talk about that. This one is still no change. Because if you get sideways and you got no money, you're going to lose both of them.
Right.
Either way. Because you can't pay the bill.
It doesn't make enough of a dent.
And so until you get your home paid off in the next 2 to 3 years, your risk situation does not really change. But I like your idea. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing hugely wrong with it. I think I would move that way. And again, I would not do it in the States because you'd be jacking your rate up.
Right.
And I wouldn't do it with a HELOC in the States either because HELOCs have horrible terms. But because you're looking at a traditional first mortgage, primary residence, the same type of mortgage on both things, and you're going to go through one more cycle before one more 5-year cycle before you get them paid off, and you're going to be done. Yeah, that's good.
Do you rent the cabin when you're not in it, or does it just sit vacant?
No, so it's actually in a national park where we're not allowed to, but my wife is a teacher, so we're out there basically all summer with the kids. And
does carrying these cut into does it cut into your investing at all, your 15%?
No, so we actually passed the Baby Steps Millionaire threshold, I guess in Canadian dollars. So not quite the same.
That's great.
Close enough.
Just a couple months ago.
So, okay. Good for you.
Yeah,
I like it, Michael. I think you're thinking it through. It's not it's not dumb. It's not in the stupid column or anything like that. I don't think it's a lifesaver either, by the way. It's not like, whoa, that changes everything. No, it doesn't. It just kind of yawn a little bit, and yeah, it's okay. Move it over there. But then let's lean in and get the stinking house paid off. I want that first mortgage on your personal residence gone because that's going to change your life. If the only thing you got hanging over there is the cabin and you owe $400 on it or $300 on it by then, and you're cranking on it with a $260,000 income, I'm a lot less worried about you at that point. So Yeah, I think I would do it, but not because it's like life-changing. It's just okay to do. Nothing. It helps a little. I see your point. I see why you're doing it. While you're at it, you got to recast the mortgage anyway. Then why not? Yeah, reset it. Let's do it. Toby's in Ohio. Hi, Toby. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, so I had a question. I'm 27, trying to navigate life a little bit here about bankruptcy. I've got about $14,000 in debt, and part of that is a car loan. That's about $6,500, and that car is broke down now, and I'm also homeless. So I'm just trying to figure out if that's a smart move or not, or if it's something that I should live a cash life for the next 7 years or not.
How'd you find yourself homeless?
Well, I originally tried to get into a place, and they ended up switching over management. I never got my application. I ended up dropping a deposit in first month, but the new management returned that back to me because they ended up moving somebody in. And that kind of slewed the effect of couch surfing and then making it harder to get in somewhere, prolonging that.
So
How long has this been going on?
About 8 months.
Okay, so when are you getting a place?
I don't know yet.
Are you working?
I'm trying to figure that out. As of 2 weeks ago, I wasn't, or I'm not, but I am applying currently and waiting for pending
Explain
interviews.
what's going on with the work. Why aren't you able to keep a job?
Well, a lot of times it was unwillingness at first, and then here in the last year, it was just, I think, I don't know if it was an excuse or not, but mentally I just wasn't really enjoying being in my truck or couch surfing, and everything I was doing was going towards expenses, like, I screwed up, had a DUI last year, so I had some fees I had to be paying, so.
Toby, you got a lot going on, man.
I do have a lot going on.
So my friend years ago that taught me some of this stuff used to say that financial problems, including when I went bankrupt, sir, financial problems are not the problem. They're the symptom of other things that are going on.
Symptom.
Yeah. And so your money issues are the symptom of all the other crap that's going on in your life. Not keeping a job, DUIs, all this other stuff are the causing the money problems. If you kept a job steady, you got you a little apartment to live in steady, you kept it clean, you kept yourself clean, you stayed out of the alcohol, you stayed out of the drugs, you kept working. All of a sudden, these financial problems are going to go away. You agree with that?
I do. I do. It's just, why do I find it so difficult then?
Then it's because it's the same thing I had to face, and all of us have to face. The problem with your money is the guy in your mirror, and he's difficult. Hey, by the way, when I look in the mirror, I get the same thing. He's difficult. If I can get that guy to behave, he'd be skinny and rich, but he likes donuts. You know what I'm saying? So, controlling the guy in our mirror is every one of us. It's the thing we struggle with the most. Okay? And so are you plugged in at all to a good church in the area?
I am.
Good.
I definitely am.
Good. If I were you, I would call up the pastor and say, hey, would you put 2 or 3 guys in my life to walk beside me and help me become the kind of man I want to be instead of the kind of man I have been?
Yeah, and I've just recently been finding that this kind of mentorship with some people. Yeah. And that mentorship kind of guided me with the self-reflection, and that's why I was like,
good.
Who else should I call and find out?
Good.
Should I file bankruptcy, though, or no?
No, Toby, you're not bankrupt. You're broke.
No?
You're broke and homeless and don't have a job. You're not bankrupt.
Broke, homeless, and don't have a job.
Yeah, you get a job, you're not homeless, and you're making some money, you can straighten up this car debt someday, maybe, but I'm not worried about that car debt. They ain't got anything to chase down. If they come find you, they can't get nothing. So you're what we call judgment proof. But I want you to go have a life, so then you can go deal with it. But bankruptcy does not solve one stinking problem you have. Not one.
For way too long, I struggled with sleep and woke up groggy after tossing and turning all night.
But now, I look forward to bedtime and I wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed thanks to Casper, a company that's been perfecting better sleep for over a decade using durable, high-quality materials that actually last. My whole family now sleeps on Casper mattresses. Yes, even the dogs have their own Casper dog bed, to no one's surprise. And it's not just one man's opinion. Casper customers keep their mattresses for years, and 4 out of 5 customers recommend them to friends. And with free delivery and a 100-night trial, Casper is no gimmicks. A mattress you can trust, backed by quality that lasts. So go to casper.com/Ramsey and use promo code Ramsey to receive 25% off all mattresses and 10% off everything else with code Ramsey. That's casper.com/Ramsey. Exclusions apply.
Hey, this is so fun. The all-new Every Dollar is coming. And it's more than just a budgeting app now. It's a complete financial game changer. We're releasing a ton of advanced features to help you make progress with your money. If you've tried Every Dollar before, you definitely want to check in on these changes. Boom. People are finding thousands of dollars of margin in just 15 minutes. Watch the premiere of the all-new Every Dollar September 25th to see real success stories and how you can be next. Turn on your YouTube notifications to get notified when the premiere drops. So George and Rachel and Jade are going to be doing that on the 25th. That's about a week away, and they're going to be unpacking a lot of these advanced features. Your mind's going to be blown. It's pretty stinking incredible. Mm-hmm. I've been doing this a long time, and we've come out with some really good things over the last 3 decades that have helped a lot of people. This probably is the best thing we've ever done. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Thursday.
It's this beautiful mixture of proper use of technology and human beings. Yeah, it's going to change everything. All right, Daniel's in Kentucky. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Good. How you doing, sir?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, I'm 56-year-old. My wife is 55. We have a son that's 16, and my wife's been retired about 2 years. I retired about 2 months ago, and we bring in enough for all of our expenses on a pension. You know, our pension does that, and I've got $30,000 in a 401k at my company previously, and $70,000 in a emergency fund, and about $400,000 just sitting in the bank. Like a dummy, I just didn't invest anything. Everything goes well, we're fine right now, but inflation and any kind of buying a vehicle, we're going to have to go into that nest egg.
Let me start you. You're 56. You're probably going to live to 96. You plan on sitting on your butt for 40 years?
Well, no. I wanted to do something I wanted to do because I'm away from home about 2 days a week with the job I had. So
yeah. Okay. So what do you want to do?
I don't know yet.
Okay. That'd be a good thing to figure out yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get with it. I'm 65. I can't believe you're sitting on your butt at 56. Yeah, you need to go do something, man. Make some money. And that solves a lot of these problems. The second thing that solves a lot of these problems is investing the $400K.
Please.
Okay. So in 2023, if you had it in an index mutual fund called an S&P that reflected exactly what the stock market did, and 2024, you would have made 23% and 26% those 2 years. Now, that's not normal. But just to point out, okay, here's what that means. That's $50,000 a year. Mm-hmm. You've lost $100,000 by having that 400 sitting on its butt in a bank account instead of invested well. $100,000.
Yep.
Why didn't you do it, Daniel? What were you risk averse, or were you just never got around to it?
Fearful. I've been conservative all my life, and
good.
Too conservative.
Okay, that's good. I can work with that one. All right. So here's the answer. There's 2 kinds of fear, and we've all got them. There's fear of something that will hurt you, and that's a real fear, and you should stay away from something that will hurt you. The other thing that we're afraid of is things we don't understand and don't know about. Okay, you're standing in the middle of the interstate, 18-wheelers coming at you. You should be afraid, and you should move. You're going to die. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Right.
You're going to touch a hot stove, you should be afraid. You're going to get a 3rd-degree burn. Okay? Don't do that. That's a real fear. if your 7-year-old son, or when he was 7, he's 16, but if he was 7, is learning to ride a bicycle and he's afraid, well, he might fall over and scratch his knee. He ain't going to die, and he's going to get the joy of learning to ride a bicycle. So he's afraid of something he hasn't learned to do yet.
Right.
When I drove a car the very first time, I distinctly remember I was 10 years old. My dad tossed me the keys and gave me no instruction, which was a really dumb idea. And all I can remember is it was a gravel driveway, and when I pushed down on the accelerator all the way to the floor, I just about emptied the driveway with the back tires throwing gravel everywhere until the screaming stopped from all the neighbors, my mother and my dad, and I let off the accelerator finally. But now I've learned to drive a car, and I'm not afraid of cars anymore. But I was afraid that day of cars, okay, with good reason, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing, right? So that's where you are with investing. Investing is not the 18-wheeler or the hot stove. It's you don't understand it.
Right.
And it's not, the good news is it's not rocket surgery. You can do it. Everybody can understand this. It's not that hard. So Jade and I are going to send you to the SmartVestor Pros at RamseySolutions.com. Click on the website, get one of those. And Jade, you came at this the very first time. I had a finance degree, so I had a jump start. But you and Sam sit down with a SmartVestor Pro the very first time. You didn't know beans.
No.
How's that? That's pretty intimidating.
It's intimidating. And I will say, I think it's helpful if you can engage with a show like this or do a little bit of research on your own. So at least you can, because there's lingo and jargon and you want to feel like you understand that. Yeah. But if you sit down with the right person, they can help you understand it a little bit more.
It's really, because here's the thing. You buy a house, well, that's an investment. There's no guarantee. The federal government does not get, there's no FDIC for your house. You could lose the house. You could lose the neighborhood could go up in a sinkhole. You'd lose everything.
There's always risk.
But the neighborhood could go bad.
Sure.
And instead you go, okay, I'm buying a house in an area that has a long track record.
Right.
The trees are big enough I can predict the future based on the past.
That's right.
And that's what you do with an investment. You pick out something that's got a long track record. And then you got to understand how to do it, like you had to understand how to buy that first house.
That's right.
And there's 19 moving parts, but they're really not that complicated. Once you do it once, you go,
you start to figure it out.
It's doable. So, I think if you move that 400, Daniel, into some good investments and then get back to work, and because you're going to have a better life, man. It's just more enjoyable. There's no dignity in sitting on your butt.
You got to use your skills in your mind.
Yeah, go do something big, man. Go do something big. Go make twice as much money as you've ever made in your life. Start you a business, and you go, wow, I'm so glad I quit that ugly job.
Act 2.
Yeah, here we go.
Dave, this is my favorite question. If you didn't do finance and real estate, what would you do? If you had to make yourself have an Act 2.
Finance and real estate? Well, that's the only things I do.
I know, but I'm saying if you didn't do that, if tomorrow you had to pick something else, what would you pick?
I don't have any idea. But before I decided, before I decided to not do this, I would have an idea.
But because now that nothing comes to mind.
I would go straight to the next thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm a teacher at heart, but I'm not going to the classroom.
No.
So, but I'm going to teach something. I'm going to lead. I love business. I love running a business.
Okay.
And so I would open something.
Open something,
helping people some way. And it would probably involve teaching in some way or another. But teaching's part of leadership too. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but yeah.
I thought you might have something off the wall.
No,
a pilot.
I never wanted to be a pirate or a secret agent. No, never did. So
a pirate.
So just don't have any. I don't have any busted Dave dreams. None at all. It's all good. So none at all. No busted Dave dreams. Oh, yeah, that's it. Anyway, yeah, that's what I would do. I would sit down with a good SmartVestor Pro and get it going that way. And I think that'll show you. Begin to teach you. They've got the heart of a teacher.
Yeah.
And having the heart of a teacher is the big thing.
And I do want to say this, because you asked the question. When you first hear and learn about investing, the first time it doesn't sink in. The first time you hear it, it's just like, it's like when you wake up in the middle of the night and you turn the lights on to go to the bathroom. And then when you turn the lights off, you're like, you can't see anything. Yeah. That's like what it is when you hear about investing for the first time. You're like, what was that? I don't remember. Where was it? And then when you hear it the second time, it sinks in a little bit more. Then the third time it sinks in. And before you know it, you've heard it several times. Now you're like, oh, I get it. Now I understand. So it's okay if the first time you hear it, you don't fully understand it. Yep. That's normal.
Okay. I'll go with that. That's good. The point is, learn about it because it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
You need to learn about it and get comfortable with it, and that'll get you there. Wow. Hold on, folks. Don't panic. Buying a home in today's market doesn't have to be complicated, but it does take more than hope and a quick internet search. To get the right home, one that will be a blessing and not a burden, you need a trusted mortgage partner who will listen and serve you, not push more debt. You need the professionals at Churchill Mortgage. I've personally recommended Churchill for over 30 years, and they're the only mortgage company that's Ramsey trusted. Churchill stands out because they operate the Ramsey way with transparency, integrity, and a commitment to doing what's right for the customer, not what's profitable for themselves. Churchill aligns with Ramsey's values by focusing on education, responsible mortgage lending, and helping people make smart, long-term decisions that enable them to build lasting wealth. Go to ChurchillMortgage.com today to begin a better mortgage experience. ChurchillMortgage.com.
This is a paid advertisement. NMLS ID 1591. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Equal housing lender.
Today's question of the day is brought to you by Why Refi. If your private student loans are in default, it can feel like nobody will work with you. But Why Refi was built for this. They'll help you explore a fresh start. Go to whyrefi.com/Ramsey. That's the letter Y, REFY.com/Ramsey. Not in all states.
All right. Today's question comes from Dean in Iowa. He says, if I have debt but also want to invest, why can't I do both and benefit from the compounding interest? I'm 21 and have over $95,000 in college debt. I won't be able to pay that before I turn 30, and I don't want to wait that long to build wealth. Okay, so Dave, we hear this a lot. It's kind of like that age-old argument of why can't I invest whilst paying off debt, or why do I need to wait till I'm done paying off debt to invest? And the biggest thing, I mean, if I go back to the basis of it, it is your income being your biggest wealth building tool. So here's the thing. You have $95,000 in debt, which means a portion of your income is going to be going to paying that off. And the longer you wait, the more of that income is not helping you build wealth. So while you might be able to put, I mean, theoretically, yeah, you could put some money into investing. It's not going to be the full scale of what you could or should put in to build ultimate wealth. So why wouldn't you just clear that out? Because here's the thing. The compounding interest
works on your debt too.
Yeah, that's the thing. That $95,000, that's going to accumulate. That's going to accumulate more and at a quicker rate than when you start from zero, investing, your $100 here and there.
Yeah. So, Dean, you're 21. You can do whatever you want to do, honey. You're like an adult and stuff. But you wrote us an ask. You're full of opinions, and they're all wrong. And you wrote us an ask. So here's the truth. The probability of you getting out of debt, if you don't focus on it exclusively and with great intensity and get your little butt in gear, the probability of you ever paying off that student loan is close to zero. If you think you're going to wander out of this over 10 years, like you've kept the flu for 10 years, you're not going to do it. You're simply not going to do it. We've worked with people getting out of debt for way longer than you've been alive. And so, tens of millions of people have followed our stuff and gotten out of debt. And one of the keys is for you to get fired up and wired up, where you turn it on. Don't talk to me about being 30 years old and still having this debt. How about 25 4 years old and it's gone. 3 years from now, $30,000 a year, because all you do is work, young man. You have lots of energy. Go use it. Go get you some money. You have made a mess, and you need to clean up your mess. And the faster you put this in your rearview mirror, with the faster the intensity, the higher the probability that you ever build wealth, and the higher the probability you ever get out of the student loan debt. The number of people who drag out student loan debt and systematically pay it off over 10 years or 20 years is almost zero. They either do nothing and it stacks like cordwood in the backyard, or they get after it and they knock it out fast. There's hardly anybody in the actual data that does the middle ground and goes, I'm going to very slowly and methodic. Nobody does it. They don't do it. So you get fired up and wired up, so your set of assumptions are wrong. It's not going to take you 9 years. You're going to pay off $9,000 a year. Come on. How wussed is that? Come on, don't be a wuss. Do it, man. Come on. $9,000. Come on. That's nothing. You need to pay off $30,000, $35,000 a year because all you do is work. Clean up your mess. And then you're sitting there at 24 years old without this thing hovering over you, like most broke Americans walking around with their own spare bedroom for freaking Sally Mae. They've kept her around so long she's like a member of the family, the old ugly aunt with a wart on her nose. And she's stuck in the back bedroom, and we're paying payments for her all the time. We can't get rid of her because you won't give her an eviction notice. You, dude, roll up your sleeves and punch it in the mouth. Tell Sally she gone. You're out. You're done. You don't get to live here. I don't like you. You're ugly, and you're inhibiting my future. You are going away. You have to get mad about it and knock it out fast. It increases the probability of doing it. It destroys your little formula because now you're out of debt at 24 or 25, and now you can build wealth really, really fast because you're used to living on very little and paying off a bunch of debt. We can transfer that to living on very little and investing. You'll probably be a millionaire by the time you're 35 if you do what I tell you to do, what Jade told you to do. But if you don't, you're going to be normal. And if you want to look up the statistics on normal in America, normal sucks really bad. You do not want to be normal. It's a disaster. So your goal is to be weird. That's our thing around here.
I know that's right. Yeah.
That's how you do it, man. That's the answer. And so, but yeah, if you make a set of assumptions, you're going to be there. And by the way, compounding interest works on debt. Exact same math. Works against you. And as it does working for you with investment.
Right.
The only difference is the rate.
Thing.
The only difference is the rate. If you're saving money at the same rate that you're paying off debt not paying off debt at the same rate, you have broken even exactly. If you're doing it at a lesser rate, you still broke even because you're carrying around all this risk and the increased risk that debt represents. So the answer, folks, the way, Jay, when I was growing up, a bunch of us little bit hillbilly kids, we were running in and out of the house, and the back door be open and closing, open and closing all day. And, your mother says stuff like, were you raised in a barn, that kind of stuff. And finally, the heat of the summer, she would have it. She'd be done with these kids running in and out. The neighbor kids, me, everybody else. And she would just go, that's it. The worm has turned. Now, we had no idea what that meant, except that the beatings were getting ready to begin, right? That's all we knew. And so, but I found out later it's actually from Shakespeare. Who knew Mom knew Shakespeare?
Wow.
But yeah, there you go. So, but all I knew was she was sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
She had it up to here with these kids and putting all the air conditioning in the outside and running up the bill. She'd had it. And when you kind of got to get that thing going like, Mama, the worm has turned. I've had it. I'm not living like this anymore. I make too much money to be this freaking broke. I live in the most prosperous time in the most prosperous country in the history of mankind, and I'm broke. This is stupid. I'm gonna change. When you get that thing going like that, little preaching going on, then you can turn it. You can turn it around. But Dean, it's not a compound interest problem, honey. It's a Dean problem. Just like when I went broke, it was a Dave problem.
Listen, I think it's about him wanting to take the easy way out. That's all I think. I think you look at $95,000, you go, that seems like a lot of work. It seems a lot easier to go over here and put my little $100 over here. I'm taking the easy route. And I think it literally just boils down to that. You can either do the work and get the fullness of what you're supposed to have, or you can punk out and take the easy route.
I said that this on the show last week. I was being interviewed in a leadership situation the other day, and a guy said, you've got all these Gen Zs working for you. And I said, yeah, I love that generation. They're incredible. They're an incredible generation because they've grown up with a magic wand in their hand. And if you push a button, stuff happens. Things show up on your front porch.
Man, that's right.
You know, anything's possible for this generation. They're a possibility generation.
And it's fast.
They think anything can happen, but it all happens fast. That's the downside. And he said, well, what about their being entitled? I said, they're not entitled. They're just impatient.
Yeah, that's good.
Because they're used to everything coming fast. It comes easy, comes fast. You just push a button and crap happens. You can't even have an argument because somebody's got the answer before the argument's done. It's like, good gosh. And so, it's, but here's the thing, guys. There's no such thing as good microwave barbecue. That's an oxymoron. There's only one way to get barbecue. You cook it long. The neighbor's dog is howling. That's how good barbecue is made, okay? And it's like a long cook, long, slow cook. And guess what? Money's the same way, baby. And so you can't push a button. There is no easy button. And while all things are possible to Gen Z, you better buckle up, Buttercup, because you're going to have to learn some maturity. And one definition of maturity is learning to delay pleasure to get something better. That's an emotional maturity. That's psychological maturity, spiritual maturity right there. You delay pleasure to get something better.
Perseverance.
And you'll get a callus while you're doing that because you'll be working all the time. And calluses are good for you, and patience is good for you. It's called growing up.
Yeah.
And but I tell you, man, this is a great generation. If we dropped a little bit of that in the soup, they're going to be the best generation we've ever seen because they believe anything's possible and they go after it like it's possible.
Yeah.
But quit looking for the stinking easy button. You're right, Jade. You're absolutely right. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Alyssa is with us in Chicago. Hi, Alyssa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
My question is, how much is too much to spend on a wedding?
Okay.
That's cool. How much are you thinking about spending?
$60,000.
Ooh.
Cool. Nice wedding. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you have $60,000?
So we're actively saving to get to. We have about half right now. So by next September, when the wedding would be, we would have that.
So mom and dad aren't chipping in. That's you and him paying for it.
We are going with the intention that we're paying for it. They've briefly mentioned that they might contribute, but no hard numbers have been given or anything like that.
Okay. So you're assuming it's all on you.
So what do you make?
Yeah. I make 90 before
What's he make?
commission. 190.
Cool.
Okay.
Do you guys have any debt?
No debt.
Wow.
Good. It's not too much.
It's not too much.
No,
Okay.
not if you pay cash.
That's exciting.
Okay.
You want to know how I did that?
Yes.
Here's fun, okay? Average household income in America right now is about $75,000. The average wedding in America is about $36,000. It's about half of the average income. So if you spend more than half your annual income on your wedding, and if you're paying for all of it, which it sounds like you are, okay, then you're spending too much on a wedding because you're more than half the average. Now, here's the thing: keep in mind, average kind of sucks in America. We don't necessarily want to be average, but you're below 50% of your way below 50% of your $270,000 income, and so you're on a ratio basis, you are half of the national average, which is half. It's a weird way to say that, but yeah. So I mean, the national average would put if you spent 50% of your all's income, that'd be 135.
So you're well below what the average person.
And you're
is
about
doing.
half of that at 60, and so you're very conservative as a ratio. But now, for somebody that makes $100,000, it sounds like that, Alyssa's lost her mind, But that's what people say that don't have any money, and you've got some money, so.
Well, yeah, when you have more money, you can spend more.
Yeah.
Of it
without it being a problem.
Yeah.
So,
and if that doesn't include the honeymoon, and we added, I don't know, 10 or 15 on top of that, it would still
I'm
be
talking about
within
the
that
wedding.
ratio.
The honeymoon's a different story.
I think that'd be fine.
And the engagement ring's another story. Okay, but
yeah, that's a good differential though when we're talking about the wedding. There are those three components. There's the rings, then there's the actual party, and then there's your honeymoon.
What do y'all do
Three
for a
separate
living?
things.
I do medical sales, and he does product management.
Cool. Okay. Well, he's going to really like this last suggestion. We've done 3 weddings at the Ramseys. I've got 3 kids that are all married and been married many, many years, okay? And Ramseys, we like a big party. We like to celebrate stuff like that. And so we threw major parties on each of these weddings. It was a lot of fun. But we learned, and we did it from the first one. We introduced this idea that for your fiance will love me, your wedding is a project. So let's lay out a budget in detail. If we're going to spend $60, how much of that's the dress? How much of that's the reception? How much of that's the videographer? How much of that's the preacher? How much is the venue? And you lay out a budget. And then guess what? You stick to the budget.
And that would be my word of wise for you, Alyssa, because when you hear what Dave
You'll
said,
get scope
which is technically you could be spending more if you were being, quote, average. So for you, the hard part is going to say, even though we could spend more, we're going to stick to what we said in the beginning of $60,000.
Yeah, I would pretend like that that you work for someone and your job was to manage a $60,000 budget and bring the event in on budget, on schedule. Because you're manager project. It's an event project. I mean, we manage events here. It's what it is. And so
you'd get fired if you went over someone else's budget.
Yeah, if you work for somebody, you get fired if you screwed it up, right? So just treat it like it's serious business. And I know that doesn't sound very romantic, but people use romance as a way to do a lot of stupid butt stuff. So no, we're not doing that. So no, just lay it out exactly. And you say this is, and you can pull up some percentages. There's some good guidelines online for how much to spend on the dress. I will go ahead and tell you, if you're going to have a nice reception, to have the big party, it's going to be your biggest line item by far. Like how many people you think? I mean, 60,000. You're thinking about inviting a decent number of people, aren't you?
It's not huge. So we've already booked the venue, and we're going through that process. But I'm more of the saver, and he's more of the spender. And so thinking of kind of the rough estimate that we put together with all the, videographer, photographer, and all of that, it just sounds like a lot of money. So I
would. But here's the thing: you'll get
hesitant and not.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean when I say scope creep?
Yes.
Yeah, this thing will creep up, and the 60 will turn into 80. Mm-hmm. If you do not line item this, and no rough estimates, it's freaking what we're going to do. And then when you're meeting with the caterer, and they go, "Well, we can add deviled egg." No, this is all we got. This is what we're doing. Yeah. And we could spend, freaking $85,000 on flowers. Who's getting married here? Princess Di? I mean, seriously. So, we're going to go in the field, pick some wildflowers so that we stay on budget. Rachel actually did that one.
Well, if nothing else,
because she was over budget on other stuff, and the only way she could get it back in budget was to get the flowers down.
If nothing else, plan for 54, so at least you've got 10% set aside just as contingency.
Oh,
that's what I'd do.
A little slush fund in the line items.
Just in case.
Yeah, a little just in case fund. I'd have something in there for that. Yeah. I don't know if I get away with that, but wow. That's exactly how I would do it. And Alyssa, I think you're approaching it very wisely. You're not counting on the people who have been vague about their possible input. That way you're not under their control. Matter of fact, whatever they come forth with, I'd probably just use that for the honeymoon. And I just lock this baby down on 60 and just go, we're doing it. And you and the fiance sit down and agree to that. Go, this is a project like you manage at work. We're going to manage this. We're going to come in on budget. We're going to get the details out because there's always something that you can go higher. You can always go one bigger, one better on everything.
You get the extra large shrimp instead of the large shrimp.
What was the thing on Father of the Bride? Cheaper chicken.
Oh, yeah.
I want the cheaper chicken, yeah.
You get ice sculptures.
Yeah, that's it. And so, you can do it. And you can do that on a $10,000 budget. You can do it on a $60,000 budget. You can do it on whatever. You just manage the budget.
That's right.
This is what we're doing. And so it's just we're going to have to get super creative if we're going to do this for $7,800. We had a lady here on the team that got married and had a really nice little wedding for $7,000, and she just they were trying to get out of debt, and that's the most they were going to spend, and it was really very nice.
Can I tell you Sam and I paid for our wedding out of pocket. Oh, it was like $10,000.
Okay.
It was a little bit more. But my biggest regret to this day, and it was in the name of doing it debt free, we didn't have an open bar. No open bar.
That's your regret that you didn't booze up everybody else for free?
I mean, we were on a yacht. It just made sense. There should have been some drinks on board. And there wasn't.
You didn't have
there was no open bar.
There was no bar.
No.
No, they couldn't even pay.
No.
Open bar would be like you paid.
No. Well, I felt it was tacky to have people pay, so there just was no bar.
Just no. Oh, well, okay. I'll go with that. Okay. But
listen, it was a mistake.
That's okay. You know what? They don't remember it. You're the only one that does.
I guess so. I don't know about that. But
Sam doesn't even remember it. What does the future hold for business? Ask 9 experts and you'll get 10 different answers. Economic growth or a recession? Business taxes will go up or down. AI will help us work or it will replace us all. But there's no such thing as a crystal ball. That's why more than 42,000 businesses have future-proofed themselves with NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 AI cloud enterprise resource planning system. Ramsey Solutions uses NetSuite, and you should too. Whether your company's earning millions or even hundreds of millions, NetSuite helps you respond to immediate challenges and seize your biggest opportunities. With one unified business management suite, there's one source of truth for the visibility and control you need to make quick decisions. NetSuite's real-time insights and forecasting help you see into the future with actionable data. And when you're closing the books in days, not weeks, you spend less time looking backward and more time focusing on what's next. And speaking of what's next, download the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning at netsuite.com/Ramsey. It's free at netsuite.com/Ramsey. Richard's in Oklahoma. Hi, Richard. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thanks. Boy, I don't know. I don't really know where to start.
Okay.
I'm beginning to think I'm a lost cause.
Oh, no.
I went through a very similar situation, actually an identical situation that you did, but it was much later in life. I was 55 when the banking. I was in the mortgage business for 10 years when everything crashed. I lost everything. I was completely ruined. My confidence was kicked out the door. So I went through a few years of trying to get my act together, and went to Florida. Basically, I went back to the one place that you never want to go, but the one place that's got to take you in. So my mom was very elderly at the time, and so I went down and I was taking care of her in Florida. And then it got to a point where I was going to need somebody to help, so I got to driving a truck. And it was something that was kind of conducive because it was like I'd be in the truck and they'd say, okay, where am I going now? And it was only going to be for a couple of years. I was going to drive for a couple of years and then join the Merchant Marines. I wasn't married. I'd lost everything. I had no children. And then I was going to join the Merchant Marines. I figured, okay, I'll drive the country for a couple of years, then go sail the world for a couple of years. But then I had to put my mom into assisted living. So in order to handle that, I stayed on the truck and was paying for that. And I also figured, well, if something came down, I'm a day or 2 days away versus, a month to 2 months away. I'm sorry, Richard. So how can we best help you today? I never sailed. I never really planned it. Based upon a previous caller, I was totally ignorant and intimidated and not knowing anything about investing. Afraid of missing out at this. Afraid of losing, and then afterwards,
how old are you now?
All right, now I'm 72.
And how much money do you have now?
Right now, I've got $40,000 in a savings account, 5%.
Okay.
Out of what? Because then in after a couple of years, then I got involved with something else, and it looked like it was going well, and put good money after bad when COVID hit.
Are you still driving? Are you still driving trucks? Are you still working, Richard?
Yes, I'm still driving now. What my plan was, I wanted to have more of a nest egg. I wanted, well, I shouldn't say nest egg. I wanted to have, my goal was to have $50,000 in the bank for me to get off the truck, get back to Texas, where there was a community there of people with common interests, and then really research what I could do without having to try it.
What's going on with your what happened to the house your mom was living in before she went in assisted living?
Well, when she died, it was at one point she had taken a reverse mortgage on it, so it went to the bank.
Oh shoot!
Yeah,
okay.
And it was a condominium there in Florida.
So it was worth nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
So there
Where
really
are you
wasn't
living?
anything.
Are you just living in your cab? Where are you living?
Yeah, I'm living on the truck. Technically, I'm homeless. I was living in Florida. I had a room. I was renting in a house.
What are you making?
A dear
How much
friend
do you
of mine.
make?
Well, I was just figuring that out because, fortunately, for the company I drive for, that I've been with for a while now, a number of years, they have a minimum of $12.50 a week. Because you don't always, you can go out and get, with the way it is with driving, they pay by the mile, but they can pay $1 a mile. But if you're only getting 300 miles a week, that doesn't really do it.
So what do you make, Richard?
With my Social Security, it comes to about $80,000 gross.
Okay. And you don't have any overhead because you're living in the truck. How much of that can you save? Can you not save $40,000 a year?
Well, I had credit card debt, and I've been paying that down, and then
is it gone?
There was
I thought you said you were debt free.
Well, no, I didn't mean debt free. I'm sorry.
How much credit card debt do you have now today?
$2,500 out of what was at one time $60,000.
Good for you.
Good.
Okay. And how much other debt do you have, hon?
Really, I owe the IRS. But I'm getting with an accountant the beginning next week.
How much?
Because I filed an extension. Only $2,500.
$2,500.
All right. So $4,500 and $2,500 makes you debt free, and then you start stacking cash as fast and as hard as you can for as long as you can drive, and you start stacking it to the tune of $4,000, $3,000 a month into a good growth stock mutual fund, and you sit down with a Smart Vestor Pro. If you can do that for 5 years, you could build a good nest egg. I don't know if you got 5 years left. But in terms of passing your exams and everything, to stay on the road and be safe and all that. But
you got to do this today. You've got to start today. Get online, find that. Don't put it off, because if you do, you're going to fall back in your same habit, and you're just going to put it in a savings account, and it's not going to do any of what Dave is saying it's going to do. So you've got to do it today.
I want to set up $3,000 a month automatically coming out of your checking account, and then I want you to add more in addition to that. Going straight into mutual funds for your investing. That's $36,000 a year. You do that for 3 years. It's $100,000. It'll be $150,000 by the time you get done with it. With growth, it'll be at $300,000 before you know it. After that, in terms of more growth, so you can actually build a nest egg. But you're gonna have to lean on it. And your adventures are over. Now you're just grinding. We ain't no more time for adventures. We're just gonna grind, and no more interferences. We have to grind. Whatever comes up, we got to grind. Whatever it is, we got to shift the gears and go. Shift gears and go. Shift gears and go. Got to make it. You got to make that money. And you take all the runs you can take, and you pile the cash as high as you can pile it, as quick as you can pile it, because you are in emergency mode. You're not a lost cause. But if you don't change your ways, you are. But it's not because the math is killing you. It's because you're killing you.
Do you think he owns that truck?
You got to get those two little debts cleaned up right now, as soon as possible. Go ahead and write a check and clean them up today. Take the $40,000 and pay off the credit cards and cut them up today. And pay off the IRS today. As soon as you get with your tax guy and you figure out exactly what it is, write a check and pay them. Do not delay. Put that behind you, and then let's because that'll leave you $34,000 in your emergency fund, which is just fine. Leave that there for the emergency fund, and then go over today, like Jade said, and get an automatic draft started on your checking account for $3,000 a month. And you can do this. You can do that, and that's going to put you in a much better place 3 years from now than you ever dreamed you were going to be. Between that and Social Security, but yeah, you're going to be working a while longer. That's for sure. But then that'll get you away from wolves, to get the wolf away from the door.
Yeah. Is that truck his asset, or does he have to turn that in when he's done?
No, he's working for somebody. He's driving their truck, which is just fine.
Okay.
So, because otherwise that stupid thing's going down in value, and that'd be another debt we own.
Right.
No, he's much better off. He's much better off in the seat he's in. That's the place to be, especially in this situation. So, yeah, just grind, and you've had a lot of drama in the last 20 years, and you don't for the next 5 years you don't get any more drama. You don't have room for it. You got to grind and pile cash. If drama knocks at the door, tell them to go next door. We don't have a play going on here. Okay, it's going to go somewhere else. You really do. I mean, you've had your share of it, my friend. So, but it's not hopeless at all. But you're going to have to. The only way it's not is if you lean in and
That's right.
really get laser focused on this and knock the crud out of it. But it can be done. So yeah, that'd be 100,000 in 3 years. You'd have in there a little better than that, about 110, and that will have grown. Yeah, probably be bumping down to 100.5, and then if you left 100.5 alone for 7 years, it'd be 300. But you don't have 7 years there. So yeah, but you're going to have some money. You have a little bit of money, and you'll have your at least not be right on the edge of everything, and get your little kind of
apartment to rent,
very inexpensive apartment to rent, and come off the road and do something else then too. But yeah, I'd plan on doing something. Plan on creating an income.
Have to.
Dave, we got a lot of calls on this show where life happens. One day someone's healthy, they're working, providing for their family, and then a curveball hits.
You know, we hear it all the time. A car accident, a cancer diagnosis, a heart attack, and suddenly everything changes.
Yeah, and that's why you've always said that having term life insurance from Xander is essential, because it protects your family if the worst happens.
Yeah, that's right. You need 10 to 12 times your income in coverage. No gimmicks. No whole life junk, just straightforward term life protection. But there's another piece that people often overlook, and that's long-term disability insurance.
Yeah, it's important to understand the difference between them. Life insurance steps in when you die. Disability insurance steps in while you're alive but can't work. So it replaces a large part of your income so the bills still get paid while you get back on your feet.
Now, if your employer gives you free disability insurance, great, take it. If it's discounted there at a better price, take it. But if not, Xander can help you find the right plan. Whether you're single or married, it's not optional. If you're going to be out of work for a while, then you need to make sure the money's still showing up.
And that's why Xander is our go-to. They make it super simple to get the right coverage at the best price, no pressure, no upselling.
I've trusted Jeff Xander and Xander Insurance for over 25 years, and so has my family.
So don't wait. It's fast, it's easy, and it could make all the difference. Go to Xander.com or call 800-356-4282.
Protect yourself, protect your income, protect your family. If you're ever around the Nashville area, stop by and see us. We do the show on the glass live from 1 to 4 Central Time every day. And there's usually 50 to 200 people out here, partly to watch the show, but partly because the coffee and the homemade cookies are free. So there's that. And come by and hang out with us. We do pictures at the commercial breaks and all that kind of stuff. And you might have the opportunity to see someone stand on the debt-free stage right here in the lobby to do their debt-free scream. Dave and Roxanne are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hi, Dave.
Welcome. Where do you live?
We're from Calgary, Canada.
Fun. And how much debt have you two paid off?
700 to 1,970.
Wow.
Whoa, how long did this take?
About 7 years and 4 months, Dave.
I smell a home payoff.
Yes.
Good for you. We're looking at weird people. I love it. What's this house worth?
About 800,000 right now.
Wow.
Very cool. And how much in your nest egg these days?
About 320.
So you're millionaires, baby steps millionaires.
Yes.
How old are you two?
I'm 37.
I'm 45.
And you're baby steps millionaires in Calgary, Canada. I'm so proud of y'all.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Way to go! How's that feel?
Feels amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
How many millionaires in your line? Your parents, your grandparents, all that kind of thing.
No one.
No one.
You're the first. You broke it.
And my brother's here with me. I think he's a millionaire.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. All right. So both of you made it. All right.
Yes.
Good. So a whole new line to the family tree coming with you too.
Yes.
Way to go, guys. I'm proud of you. Excellent job. All right. And your range of income during that 7 years?
Yeah, it's really interesting. We started at 30,000, almost made nothing, and by the end of the journey, 7-year journey, we make about 700,000 right now.
Amazing.
700?
Amazing.
Yes.
What do y'all do?
We started. I was a general manager of a cleaning company and a facility company, and
I used to work in finance in the government.
and along the way we started an online business and in affiliate marketing, and the sales started to pick up, and that's what we do full time now.
In freight marketing?
No, affiliate marketing.
Affiliate marketing.
Yeah,
oh,
online, yeah. iTicket, yeah.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Awesome.
Pretty cool. Well, congratulations, you two.
Thank you.
Zoom. What a wonderful income. This is very cool. All right. How did a power couple like you guys get plugged into the Ramsey stuff?
It started actually, I was listening to Joyce Mayer sermon, and she talks about Financial Peace University, Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. So I started searching about you. I got so excited about baby steps, and I showed it to him, and he's very skeptical.
I was skeptical. I used to be a financial advisor. I wasn't a big fan of Dave Ramsey at the time. But our turning point was that it was February 2018. At that point, we had about $86,000 of consumer debt, 24 failed businesses.
Wow.
And the only thing that was left for us was that we were managing an apartment, and we were living for free. Again, our income was about $30,000. We got home, and we got an eviction letter saying we don't need you anymore. And that kind of almost broke us. And I remember that day we were afraid. We were mad at each other for, saving nothing and living for free. And I remember Roxanne prayed this very powerful prayer, right?
Yeah, I asked God to heal our finances, to lead us to a solution, and to lead us to the right opportunity. And that's when, Dave finally, became open about looking into more about the FPU.
Yeah, and that's when we, for me, it's like total surrender. I said, you know what, I may be a financial advisor, but as Dave would say, I don't have a six-pack, right? So I'm a fat financial advisor, so I need to have total surrender, and we went all in after that. So
wow, wow. So you just plugged in online?
Yes.
Yeah, online, because they don't. From what I know, they don't have it live in Canada.
Canada doesn't like the word university.
Yeah.
When it's not like a real university, so they won't let us in there. But yeah. Wow, so cool, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Very neat. So, what was the first thing you did to get the income up?
Yeah, so
I mean, you're sitting there homeless, almost.
So we started, I started to apply on, full time, and we're employable. So I got full time job, and then you got full time job.
We started to go back to actual work because we had this mentality of want to be entrepreneurs, but we didn't want to have a full time job because we have a wrong mindset about hard work. So we all actually went back to full time work, Roxanne and I, and then we went intense. We had cleaning jobs. We had, the best side hustle for us was like we had we rented our apartment that we were living in, right?
Yeah.
And
because we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we started to rent the second bedroom to international students, and that I think it gave us like $500 extra, and then we sold our Mercedes-Benz. It took us like 3 months to really think about it, so we sold that Mercedes-Benz. That free us more cash flow for us, and then we sold some stuff in Facebook Marketplace as well, and
Yeah,
we did cleaning jobs.
Yeah, everything that we saw that wasn't, we had like 3 iPads for some reason. We sold 2 of them.
Good.
I had an old golf club. We sold it. I had an old suit. We put it in FB Marketplace.
Everything must go.
Yeah.
There was a.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Philippines, and he grew up
Yeah.
in the Philippines too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And so you moved to Canada.
Yeah.
Whole new opportunity.
Yeah.
Whole new set of things. Bunch of failed businesses, take the full-time jobs plus all the side hustles, start scratching and digging, and one of those side hustles became the affiliate marketing that blew up.
Yeah. Along the way, I wanted to come here to thank you, Dave, because we talk about that this journey healed us because on those businesses, it wasn't the business per se. It was, our impatience. We had a sickness called ABD. I call it attention business disorder, right? when the business becomes
sounds like an entrepreneur to me.
When the business became challenging, we said maybe there's something easier out there. But baby step 2 really taught us to be patient, have spirit of contentment, be creative, be resourceful, everything an entrepreneur needs, right? And when we hit our, the business along the way, it was February we started. October 2018 is when we started affiliate marketing. It took off because God blessed that business because we now have the character, the foundation that sits on it. So
something. You guys are incredible.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Preach it. I love it. Well done. So proud of you. Way to go. How's it feel now to be this age? And you go through all of that, and now you're millionaires already. And it was not a smooth journey. It was a gut-wrenching journey, but rich, and so how's it feel now that you're there?
It feels weird to be weird.
It feels amazing, at peace, knowing that we're taking care of God's resources. We learned that it's not our money; it's God's money, and we realize that if God blessed us earlier, we would lose it. Yeah. But now, because God knows that we're prepared, so we can handle more. So
when you're faithful in the little things, you'll be given more to manage.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty much in His scriptures. Love it. Proud of y'all. Very well done. And you brought your son with you, right?
Yes.
Bring him up. Do you want to introduce him, have him part of this?
Yes.
All right. How old is he, and what's his name?
He's 4 years old. His name is Caleb.
Hey, Caleb. Well done, brother. All right. It's just the handoff here.
Yeah, right.
I love it. Very cool. Good-looking guy. Fun. He has no idea how much of a hero his mom and dad are. They've changed their entire lives. Very cool. Their entire family tree is completely shaken up. Way to go, Caleb. Pretty cool. You selected good parents, brother.
So cool.
Good job. All right, Dave and Roxanne and Caleb. $703,000 paid off in 7 years and 4 months, making from $30,000 to $700,000. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
To God be the glory. We're debt-free.
All right. Yeah! I love it. Wow. That's about as good as it gets right there. Man, how fun. Way to go, you guys.
This show is brought to you by BetterHelp. All right, as a society, we tend to overshare sometimes. We tell everybody everything. And as fun as it can be to talk to random people about all the stuff going on in our lives, when you need real help with relationships or clinical issues like stress or anxiety or depression, random people probably don't have the right answers. You often need guidance from a licensed therapist who follows a strict code of conduct and who's been trained to sit with hurting people. And that's why I recommend my friends at BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the largest online therapy provider in the world. That means that no matter what you're facing, chances are they've got somebody who specializes in exactly what you're struggling with. BetterHelp is totally online, and that makes it easy to fit therapy into your wild schedule. To get started, just answer a few simple questions, nothing weird, and they're going to connect you with a licensed therapist who fits your needs. Plus, if it's not the right fit, you can switch anytime for no extra cost. BetterHelp has been matching people with their therapist for over 10 years, and their 4.9 rating shows that BetterHelp is really good at matching people together. Find the right one with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Ramsey to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Ramsey.
If you died tomorrow, how would your family keep the lights on? How would they pay the mortgage, afford groceries? If anyone in your life depends on your income, you need life insurance. But how do you choose from all the options that are out there? Well, it's actually simple. Life insurance has one job, and that's to replace your income. If you die, term life insurance is the only thing that does only that. The others, like whole life or permanent life, try to add in investing. They end up doing a bad job at everything. You only need life insurance while someone depends on you financially. So if you're like most people, you need a policy worth 10 to 12 times your income for 15 to 20 years. And it should be a level policy, meaning the premium stays the same. To find more info and resources, use our free term life insurance guide. Go to RamseySolutions.com/term life guide or click the link in the description if you're listening on YouTube or podcast. Ryan is in Idaho. Hey, Ryan, what's up?
Well, thanks to technology, I'm calling you from the tractor seat, so that's kind of neat. So I guess the main reason for my call is you always say, if you woke up in my shoes, what would you do? So I guess I'm just looking for a little advice. So me and my wife have been married about 5 years. We've had a couple of little kids, and I pursued a degree in diesel mechanics and then moved to a commercial potato farm as a diesel mechanic. So this time of year, I make a very large, substantial amount of money during the harvest, and then kind of tapers off during the rest of the year as we do maintenance and other things. So I kind of live on a boom and a bust cycle, and we've kind of been working the baby steps, trying to get stuff paid off while we have the money to do so. And I've kind of just been trying to figure out what to do. My wife's been very sick. A lot of our debt is actually medical debt. And we found kind of I guess like a hormonal therapy. It's kind of an extensive program to help her feel better. And I'm kind of in a weird place where I'm making a lot of money, and I'm like, well, do I take the money and start paying off debt, or do I take some money and help her feel better so we don't have as much medical debt in the future?
Yeah.
So I kind of just want
you
to
help
get
your wife. You help your
opinion.
wife, sir. Before you do anything.
Well, and
before you do anything, you
that's
take
kind
care
of
of
where
her.
I'm at.
So what's the nature of her illness?
It's more hormonal. All the doctors have kind of said after she had babies, it just kind of messed with her hormones, and so we kind of been to a bunch of different doctors, and really the biggest issue is that it's not covered under any kind of insurance. It's not anything we can just take care of, and so we sought out a lot of.
So is she
professionals and
struggling
people.
with depression after the postpartum?
Oh, all sorts of different things. Depression on top of just actual illness. I mean, she's sick all the time. She doesn't feel good. And trying to take care of 2 little kids while I'm out in the field gone all day. It's just.
What's it costing you? What's it costing you to do the treatments? Are you're hitting your max every year? Is that what it is?
No, it's got to be completely out of pocket. So the doctors have said it's about a $6,000 procedure, but I just have to come up with cash.
$6,000.
Which I can do. Obviously, I make a lot of money right now.
Well, what's
I
a
won't
lot
be
of
able
money?
to pay anything on my debt.
What's a lot of money?
I make about $20,000 a month during harvest.
Okay, and so for 3 or 4 months, you make $60,000.
Yeah, I can stockpile a lot of money right now.
So you make $60,000 in 3 months, but then you don't make much the rest of the year.
Yeah, what do you make the rest of the year?
I average, so I make about 80 a year.
Okay.
And so I'd say probably half. It's probably closer to 30 or 40 grand during harvest, and then the rest of the year kind of evens out. So I still have a consistent paycheck.
Okay. All right. And, okay, so I don't know anything medically about where you are, but if you have a high probability in your mind and you've solved for that this, I mean, you work on engines, and so if the doctors have convinced you that this will work on your wife, is this a high probability of a fix? I don't want to throw $6,000 on something that they just hope it might work. It's a 10% probability. No, thank you. I'll figure out something else. But if there's a high healing rate for whatever it is she's struggling with this particular procedure, and you can do it for $6,000, I just put that at the top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everything's paying minimum payments, and you're living on a budget, and you come up with $6,000, and then we go back to we're living on a budget, and we start paying down the smallest debt to largest debt.
Okay. And that's kind of what it was kind of hard because it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like we should pay it, but even my wife's in here, like, we need the money for other things. We're trying to pay off debts. We're trying to get.
Well, I mean, you're probably spending $6,000 on medical bills, though.
Right. That's the thing. If you don't do this, you're going to spend the same money coming in and out of the hospital, right?
Yeah.
On other things.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what you're dealing with, and I'm not a medical doctor. I couldn't tell you if I did know, but it's the way you've explained it's pretty vague. I have no idea what she's facing, but I don't know. It sounds like it's an immune disorder of some kind. But,
I don't know, but I do know. I think the hard part is when you're wanting to go, hard on the baby steps. It's hard to let other things go in front of that. But the truth is, health. When you have a health concern or something that's very seriously affecting your health, that does need to jump in.
Yeah. Well, not only do we not want to be sick and not want to hurt, but on top of that, just the mathematics are you come out ahead.
Yeah.
If you don't have the medical bills because you paid the money to get the treatment, assuming it works. And that's the thing you've got to understand. You all need to be your own advocate with these
very true
off insurance procedures and make sure you've got a high probability of this stuff and it's not some witch doctor thing. I don't have any idea what you're getting into here, but I truly know nothing about it, and I can't tell anyway. I couldn't tell based on what you told me anyway. So. If you think it's going to help your wife, then it gets first. But I'm going to want a high degree of due diligence to really know that I know that this is going to have that 9 out of 10 patients, they do this, then they quit having the ongoing illnesses, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Or whatever it is we're trying to accomplish here. Let's see some cause and effect to this, not just, oh, well, I think this will work. Let's try her as our next guinea pig. No, I don't want to do that either. Thank you, Kermit. That's okay. We'll pass. Jay's with us in Arizona. Hey, Jay, what's up?
Hey, I got a question for you. I don't really know where to start. My little sister was killed in an accident a couple of years back.
Oh my gosh!
The company responsible for it basically just failed to meet a whole bunch of safety regulations. We have
how old was she?
22.
Wow.
So sorry.
Sorry.
We have received a wrongful death payout. The grand total, I don't know about. I have requested that I have no interest in knowing. I just want to know what affects me. And basically what affects me is that my parents have set up trust accounts for everybody with enough in them under the management of a financial advisor that I'm told it will set up generational wealth. I will not have to worry about retirement. My kids will not. My grandkids will not. And we are being given, on top of that, all of our debts outside of 4 walls are being wiped out.
Wow.
And then a one-time financial gift of $38,000. And
that part sounds weird.
My parents' financial.
Where did that amount come from?
In Arizona, the maximum amount that a married couple can give their kids is $38,000 before Uncle Sam wants his house.
Got it. Okay.
$15,000 a person.
Uncle Sam lives in Washington, not in Arizona. Okay.
That's fair. But they've Ramseyed the crap out of their finances. They're almost debt free, and they weren't 5 years
so
ago.
So your mom and dad are receiving this money.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And you don't know how much it is.
I don't know how much the grand total is. No,
What I would do is operate my life as if it wasn't there, and I would save for retirement, and I would save for my kids' college, and then if any of this money does come your way as a result of all this trust funds and all these things they're doing, then it's just gravy on the biscuit. It's just extra money. But I would continue to operate my life normally, as if this wasn't there, and then if it comes, fine. If it doesn't come, fine. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union Studios. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Barbara is in Dallas. Hey, Barbara, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's
I'm
up?
very nervous.
That's okay, darling. We've never lost a patient. How can we help?
I'm calling because I'm going to try to get through this without crying. My mom recently suffered a series of strokes, and since then she had some short-term memory loss, and the medical staff basically said that she should not be by herself anymore until she does live alone. And she lives about 4 hours from me. She used to live with me. I'm wanting her to come back to live with me, but I'd have to build onto my house to do that. I'm recently debt-free, following the baby steps, and I just don't know what to do because I don't have the money to build saved. So I was hoping y'all could help.
How old is she?
75.
And you said she's had a series of strokes?
Yeah, she had 7 mini strokes.
Oh, wow.
So is she mobile?
Yes, physically she's strong. It's more her memory that's been affected.
Okay. That sounds right. All right. What is her financial condition?
She, no savings, no retirement, nothing, basically.
She has no money?
No.
She own her house?
She has a mortgage, but yeah, she has her house.
What's it worth?
Probably about $150,000.
And what is owed on it?
$50,000.
Okay. All right.
What about?
Are you the only child?
No, I have 2 siblings.
Okay. Are they going to take care of her?
They are right now. My sister lives about an hour. She goes on the weekends, and then my brother lives about 30 minutes. But they work in town, so they go during the week. But she's by herself for the rest of the day. So that's probably what that would look like if she stayed there.
Sounds like that she needs to sell her house and be moved into assisted living to me. I don't think you need to build on.
Okay.
Number one, your brother and sister are in town where she is. You're the one that's 4 hours away. You're going to move her 4 hours away from them.
And you need their help.
And you need their help, and they're willing to help, and they're good people. They've been trying to help as best they could with their schedule. Okay?
Yeah.
And number two, if I'm 77 and I've had a series of strokes, I don't know what my probability is to live 5 more years. What do you think?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but it doesn't sound good. I don't think this is most people that are in that situation don't live 15 years. Would you agree with that?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, we're all going to go sometime. I'm not trying to be cold. I know it's your mom, but I'm just trying to say, you don't need to go spend $50,000 or $60,000 for something that's going to be for 4 or 5 years. Even if she did live longer than that, it's probably going to get past your ability to care for her.
Yeah, because even if you took, let's say you did sell her house and take the money and use it to build onto your house, it still doesn't cover the fact that you wouldn't be working because you'd be home taking care of her, right? Because the fact remains that someone still has to take care of her during the day.
Yeah. Listen, I love your heart, and I hope my kids want to take care of me as badly as you want to take care of her. I think that's awesome. And that's an act of love, and that's a good heart thing. I'm just trying to help you through the actual, the realities of your desire. What is your desire? What's the reality of your desire to do this wonderful thing? And then what's best for mom? What's going to give her the best quality of care? I think she's got those 2 kids right next to her. I would find some kind of assisted living there, and I'd sell the house and put her in that. And if she outlives that money there, then we'll work on something else.
Okay.
But I suspect that you could probably get, reasonable care in that area. I don't know. You just have to shop around and find out what's available and what can be done and so forth. Does either your brother or your sister have room for her if they had someone there to care for her in their home?
They do, and they've offered for her to go live with them, but she keeps saying she doesn't want to. She wants to come here.
Why?
Why?
Is there something with that? Because whenever we've mentioned your siblings, you kind of have a bit of a pause.
And yet they're both doing their thing. They're helping.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are.
Do you just have the closest relationship?
Say it again, hon.
She used to live here with me, and when my dad was here, my dad passed away in 2018.
Are you single?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, how many bedrooms do you have?
I have a 3-bedroom house.
Why would you need to build on?
The problem is that she's got 3 dogs, and I have 3 dogs.
No, she doesn't.
This can't be about dogs.
We're not building onto a house for dogs.
Yeah.
No, different discussion.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom, you want to live here? We don't have 3 dogs. I can help you with that. I love dogs. I love my dog more than I do most humans, but no way. No way. Dogs don't make this decision. This is too important, too big a decision. We're trying to figure out how to care for a lady who's had a series of strokes, and now dogs enter the discussion? No. So, no, she can move in with you. The dogs can't. She sells her house, and you put her in one of the bedrooms, and you hire somebody to care for her there. If you don't want to put her in assisted living, it's actually a better economic value anyway. So, yeah, that's easy. Okay. Let the dogs go stay with somebody. Rehome them. Is that what they call it now?
I don't even care. I know what the real deal is with the situation.
Well, yeah, the brother and sister said no dogs.
Yeah.
And now you're going to go into debt. You called us to go into debt to build a wing for the dogs. Come on, girl. Seriously. No. Now we've gone. No. You take care of your mom. That does not include taking care of her pets. This is a lady who has no money, has saved no money her whole life, and now her family is going to have to care for her. They are not obligated to take care of her dogs. I'm sorry. Dave's so cold. He's so mean to animals. He doesn't like animals. I love animals.
Yeah, but this is ridiculous.
This is just way off the chart. Gee. Well, big news. The Fed cut rates for the first time all year, and the 15-year fixed-rate mortgages have dropped to the lowest we've seen in 11 months. If you're financially ready, now's a great time to buy or sell. Lower rates could save you thousands over the life of your loan, but if you sit on the sidelines waiting for the perfect moment, you could miss the window, and you might end up paying more in home price for the exact same house. So buying an affordable home you love is possible when you work with a Ramsey trusted real estate agent. These are pros that are handpicked by us to guide you through the market and keep your financial goals in mind. They're the top agents in your area. Find a trusted local pro for free at ramseysolutions.com/agents or click the link in the show notes. Joseph's in California. Hi, Joseph. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, sir. I got a question about a few problems I'm facing currently.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been a full-time gig worker. I've been driving for Uber and Lyft, and I financed 2 vehicles. The first one I financed was a Honda CR-V, and when I bought it at the peak when prices were so inflated. Dealerships were marking up prices, and there was low inventory, and the car prices were much higher.
So what'd you pay?
So I bought it in I financed it for $60K. This was in 2020, like the beginning of 2022.
You financed a Honda for $60K to drive Uber.
It was okay. So it was like $59 out the door. And then,
you financed a Honda for $50,000 or $60,000 to drive Uber.
And
Correct.
it's a CRV.
Correct. Because I got the thing is I got advice from other drivers that hey, you can really make good money.
You got financial advice from other Uber drivers.
Yeah.
You just said that out loud.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you got the $60,000 car. What else?
Yeah, and so it was just a regular SUV, and so I was making decent money at first. I was making about $2,700 a week, easily, and then I started seeing my earnings go down because then Uber, they got rid of this one program called Uber Green, which most hybrid vehicles qualified at the time, and Uber Green is like that feature that gives passengers the option to ride in a vehicle that's eco-friendly, right? Yeah. And so a lot of them think that a clean hybrid vehicle or Tesla is going to show up to pick them up. So they got rid of that feature, so all hybrid vehicles don't qualify for that. So then I would say my earnings dropped by like $500 or $600. Then I was like, shoot, I was talking to other drivers. They were like, hey, you might need to level up, get an XL vehicle, which is like a 3-row seat SUV. Right. So then what I did was...
did you trade in the CRV for...
No. I went to the dealership. I put down, because I had savings of $50,000. I put down $30,000 to get the it was an Acura MDX.
So you kept the Honda CRV and then got an Acura MDX?
Yeah,
why?
They didn't want to. The dealership was like, "Hey, if we take it, there's like a lot of negative equity." You gotta. So I was like, maybe I should just keep this car.
So what'd you pay for the MDX?
Try to disperse the miles. About $54,000.
Oh Lord!
And I got this a little later. I bought this one in like 2024.
You financed 54, so you put down 30 and financed 54. So you paid 84 for it.
Correct. Yeah. Stupid. That's exactly. And
how old are you?
I'm really pissed off at my
Joseph. How old are you, Joseph?
29, sir.
Okay. All right. Do you have a real job yet?
And I did at the moment, but I wasn't making the kind of money that I was making doing Uber and Lyft.
No, honey, you weren't making any money doing Uber and Lyft because you haven't been smart enough to factor in all the losses on your vehicles.
You're right.
When you factor that in, you didn't even break even. And by the way, you didn't take out gas and repairs either, did you? No.
Yeah, and I was going to get to that. Yeah.
By the time you do all of that, you didn't even make money on all this. You've been working for free for Uber.
That's true. Because at first I saw the money was great. Like when I got
the gross revenue was great. The net profit was not great.
$3,500. Right.
There's a difference. Yeah. Okay, so now you're stuck in these 2 cars, honey. What a mess.
2 car loans.
And do you have a job now?
Currently, yes, I do have a job.
What do you make?
Unfortunately, about $22 an hour. Not a lot.
Okay. What were you doing?
I don't have many. I don't have a lot of skills.
What were you doing before your Uber escapades?
I was working as I was just doing regular minimum wage jobs, like working in customer service industry, like fast food restaurants, service industry, and then, security.
The Acura, you put $30,000 down. You should not be upside down. You should be able to sell this vehicle. What's it worth?
Okay, so if I were to sell it to a dealership,
private sale, please.
Private sale, not
private
dealer.
sale. Private sale. I mean, it's worth on Kelley Blue Book about 48.
And you owe what?
On it.
And you owe what?
54, a little over 54.
So,
but the problem is I don't have any money left over, so I wouldn't even be able to pay the difference.
I understand that. I'm just trying to. You put down $30,000. You've driven it 1 year, and you're already upside down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Are you sure? Wait a minute. That's what the dealer offered.
There's just no way. Yeah.
I mean, how many miles did you put on? How many miles did you put on it?
About 30,000.
Oh, something doesn't add. Does that sound right?
No.
I was going to say that doesn't add up to me.
Okay, so, well, here's the deal.
Well, no, because it's a 2024. That's why the value is not so low.
That's why it dropped so much. Mm-hmm. Still. God.
Oh no! Wait. I'm confused. Were you guys expecting a lower number than 48?
Well, typically.
No, we're expecting a higher number.
Yeah, because you put $30,000 down, which means there's that much room.
You had to lose $30,000 in value before you got upside down.
Right. But when I bought it, it was brand new. It had 0 miles. I put 30,000 miles on it.
Which is not a lot.
It is in 1 year, but it's not enough to devalue it that far. All right, and they're rough miles Ubering.
Is your credit terrible? Can you go down to the bank and get a loan for the difference?
It's kind of bad because I'm late. I've been late for a month.
Okay.
On one vehicle.
And I assume both of these loans are with the car companies, right?
Yeah, both with the same. Yeah.
No, they're with the same? Who are they with?
Honda, what do you call it? Finance.
Yeah.
There's okay. They have their own financing.
Yeah.
Got it from the same dealership, and so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is try to scramble and get out of these cars with car loans and extra work. I want you to work a bazillion hours and not at Uber. Actually, you got 2 cars sitting there. You could go make some money with Uber now and pile up some cash really, really fast. I mean, how fast can you make $6,000? How fast you make $6,000 and just put that aside and get rid of this one car, driving the other one, drive the Honda.
So that's what I was trying to tell my family members, that maybe I should move to a different market where I can make that money, because my earnings drop.
Listen, you can make $6,000 doing anything. I don't care if you get a job at Target.
Ma'am, I get that. It's not simple, especially with I got to pay for groceries. I got to pay for,
What market are you in?
Like that. It's very California.
I know. We're in California.
Yeah. San Francisco.
Okay. Yeah, you probably do need to move to a different market. You're in one of the most expensive markets in the world. The only good thing is the Uber's expensive, but other than that, your cost of living is killing you.
Yeah, that's gonna.
So
drive you up.
But I do want you to do something to earn a bunch of money as fast as you possibly can. And if you move, that's fine. But you've got to reverse the things that are killing you, and that the first thing is to not be driving the Honda or the second car, because we've got to get out of it. It's the one you have a chance of getting out of. The other one, you're neck deep in it. And if you just turn these cars in, they're going to sell them for 50% of what you think they're going to sell them for, and they're going to sue you for the difference, and you're going to find yourself in bankruptcy. And you're going to find out that your Uber career bankrupted you, along with some really stupid decisions. But that's where you're going to end up if you don't fight your way through these. So voluntary repossession or straight up repossession are really, really bad for you, Joseph. So your best thing to do is to control the price of the sale price of the car, and the hole that you're in that corresponds that by getting these sold, by covering the differences. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Zach and McKenna are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good. We're doing well. Good.
Yeah,
Welcome.
happy to be here. Where do you guys live?
We're out in the Seattle area in Washington State.
Cool. Welcome to Nashville. Good to have you. And how much debt have you two paid off?
A whopping just north of $68,000.
Nice.
Good for you. And how long did that take?
Took about 2.5 years.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
Started off at about $117,000, took a dip to zero, and now we're looking at finishing off at about $150 this year.
Good. Right. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm a police officer.
Cool.
Yep, and then I stay home with our 4 kiddos.
Love it. Congratulations. And what kind of debt was the $68,000?
Well, it was a little bit of everything. A big chunk of it was medical debt. We had car debt. We had credit card debt, and I think that was about it. Oh,
yeah.
Pretty much everything you could have is what we
had.
had.
Kind of normal.
Yeah, good mix. Yeah.
Normal's no fun. How long y'all been married?
It'll be
almost
10 years. Yeah.
Okay, that's about the mark. Yeah.
Yep.
Took you that long to get there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then 2.5 years ago, something happened. What happened?
Yeah, we were kind of. It felt like our paycheck was constantly robbing Peter to pay Paul type of thing. Our credit cards were just about maxed out, and when they just had just enough wiggle room, we'd pull from another account to pay for that bill and this bill. And it just got to a point where we felt like we're on a sinking ship, and we just had to change something. So.
Yeah, it was pretty. I feel like too I mean, we had always felt fairly stressed out, with finances, and we were always just barely making, it to pay our bills, and that was really stressful, obviously. And then you bring 4 kids into the picture, and
oh yeah, sure.
all of a sudden that stress becomes just even more so. And
So how'd you find us?
It's funny. My mom, I was a missionary for my church way back in the day, and she gave me a book. I forget which one. We've read a whole bunch of them, but she gave it to me, and I read it. And for whatever reason, I didn't think we had to go past the first baby step of $1,000 emergency fund. So we did that forever, and then it was like, oh yeah, we're not supposed to have debt. So we've always been around and exposed to it. And then my little pea brain finally figured out that we're supposed to get past that first baby step, and that's kind of where when we hit that head of we can't really pay for anything anymore, and we got to make a change, and that's kind of when we got back into things. So
yeah.
Wow.
What's the story on the 117 to zero?
Yeah, so I worked in the tech industry, and it was during COVID. The market was real hot. It was really easy to get a job, and that's when I got up to 117. And then as COVID kind of died down, I got laid off for about 5 months, and so went down to zero. And that was in the midst of us trying to pay off our debt. So that was a really big hurdle in the whole middle of that. And that's why I made the career change from working in tech to now being a police officer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. In Seattle proper?
Just outside of Seattle. Yeah, real close.
Okay,
so.
Good for you.
Yep.
Wow, well done.
That's a big deal, paying off $68,000 with 4 kids at home, middle of a career change. I mean, I have some guesses, but what was the hardest part?
It's just I think we were talking about this earlier, and for us, it's just the time away. Being the sole provider, I was putting in 60 to 80-hour weeks for almost 2.5 years, and so it was just the time away from the family and the kids was really, really hard.
Yeah, we had a lot of conversation with the kids because he went from being a work-at-home dad, he was at home with his tech job, and so it was really hard all of a sudden to have him at home 24/7 basically. And then he lost his job for a few months. He was home extra. Yeah. And then we made our goals, and we were like, we just got to work really hard, especially with his job. He was able to work overtime, and so, I mean, he's been gone a lot, and he still is because we've got some goals we're working towards. And so, yeah, we had lots of hard conversations with the kids, and luckily, though, they've been on board with us, which we've been grateful for. And we'd rather do it now while they're little than, later. And
missing out on stuff.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah, you're changing your whole family tree. It's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
It's worth it. They'll be better off. You'll be better off. Everybody will be.
Yeah, the whole mindset change, too, is huge. I remember the first time when we first were like, okay, we're actually sticking to a budget. And we're in I think it was Walmart self-checkout. And we were like $1 over, and it was for some stupid poster board. And I had to do the walk of shame all the way back to the back of the store.
Yes.
Like, can't afford this. Like, yeah, it's $1 and I can't have it.
Right, but it's the principle.
It is, and that's what made that change. Was just
that snaps your brain.
We had to change a lot of habits of, the immediate gratification, and delaying was huge.
And there was a lot of peace with that too. I mean, even though we were still in debt, working towards getting out of it, it was amazing the peace that came because we actually were reaching,
we weren't digging the hole deeper
reaching
anymore.
these goals. Yeah. And it was just, there's a light at the end of the tunnel finally.
Yeah.
I want to ask more about that because a lot of people will say, when we're telling people to be gazelle intense and just really go hard in baby step 2, the pushback is, well, I got to pick up my coffee and I just, I got to do my run through Chick-fil-A, whatever. But what you said about the poster board, it is true. How you do anything is how you do everything. So talk to that person who says, Jade, my latte doesn't matter, or, just this one thing. Talk to that person.
Yeah, I mean, it's you get to choose which discomfort you have, right? Do you want the short-term discomfort of not having your latte or the long-term discomfort of being in debt and that stress? And for us, it was an easy choice when we put it in that perspective, that lens of what would I rather have now or in the future? And it makes it real simple when you look at it in a bigger perspective.
I agree.
Yeah, it shuts down the need for it. Then, I mean, what feels like a need just becomes a want. You go,
yeah,
I don't have to have it.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
right
in control.
Now.
Yeah.
I'm going to live like no one else so that later I can live and give like no one else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these kids' whole lives are changed because of you. Way to go, hero. Proud of y'all.
Really
Very
you.
well done. Very, very well done. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Yeah, just make a plan and stick to it. It's just like working out, losing weight. It's the answer is really, really simple. You just got to stick to it. Just make that choice, and whatever that reason why is, make it bigger than the discomfort.
Yeah. And I think being okay having to do a little bit of extra, on the side or whatever. I mean, we had to get real creative over the past couple of years, and there were times we were doing plasma, we were doing, selling things. We were, it was just whatever we could do. We were trying to find, because every little bit just, again, got us closer to the end. So
it's not forever. It's a short period of time if you do it right, and it's not that. It's not that once you're done, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. That's I can handle that. So,
Who cheered you on?
Our whole family. Yeah. It's her side of the family, our family that's right over here. They were cheering us on the whole time.
Wow.
The entire time.
That's great to have.
Yeah, we've got a lot of family that's debt free, so they're all a lot of them are out of debt, and so they were great because they all knew what it felt like, and so they were there encouraging us kind of along the way. So
go.
Yeah,
I love that.
It feels good. Yeah, they knew what it felt like. So yeah.
That does make a difference, and it's worth it. It's worth it. I know it's hard, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of cheerleaders you need. Ones that are knowledgeable. Very good stuff. All right, and you brought a couple of the 4 kids, right?
We did. Yep, we left 2 at home because they're little babies, but we brought
bring them up for
us.
the debt-free scream here.
Up,
Introduce
boys.
these fellows to us, their names and ages.
So this is Oliver, our oldest. He is 7 years old, and this is Everett, 5.
All right.
And our 2 little ones are Lucy, who is almost 3, and then Asher, who is almost 1.
Okay.
So
Wow.
nice little grown family. Yep.
Very fun. Beautiful. Well done, guys. Proud of you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You paid a price to win, and you win.
Yep.
Very well done, and a great example today on the air. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, it's Zach and McKenna, Oliver and Everett. $68,000 paid off in 2.5 years, making 117 to 0 to 150. Lots of overtime, baby. That was the solution, but now they're free. So count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Ready? 3,
2,
1.
We're debt free.
I love it. Those little guys don't look unhappy. They don't look like they've been deprived.
No.
I think they're in good shape, but they didn't see their dad a lot for the last couple of years. And so we do get a lot of questions about work-life balance. And the truth is there is no balance in life. You're going to concentrate what you concentrate on. Some of you have been concentrating so much on hitting the submit button after you filled your cart on Amazon, and you've been concentrating so much on going on vacations that you couldn't afford and buying cars you couldn't afford and living a life you couldn't afford, that now you're going to have to concentrate on something else called work. And work is what's going to get you out. My grandmother used to say there's a great place to go when you're broke. To work. It works, this work thing. Look at this guy. What a stud, man. Pretty incredible. Very well done. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone. The new is here. Jordan Peterson says, you should be better than you are, but it's not because you're worse than other people. It's because you're not everything you should be. Tracy's in Virginia. Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Hello. How are you? Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I am looking at retiring in about 3 years. I currently gross about 130. I'm estimating low because I gross a little more, but I don't like to work with actual high numbers. So I gross about 130. I have about a $10,000 debt right now. $3,000 is a loan that my son is paying off because it's his student loan, and I told him he had to pay it back. $5,000 is from appliances I bought. They're interest free until next year, and then $8,000 is actually on a credit card. I'm looking at whether or not I should, and I have about $12,000 in actual cash. So I'm trying to decide, since I'm close to retirement, is it best for me to pay off my house? I owe about $360 on it, and that'll be debt free because the other debts are relatively small and I can pay them off fairly quickly. Or if I should look at supplemental income, I have about $45,000 in stocks and mutual funds. I also have an IRA and 2 whole life policies. Or if I should buy another property so that I'll have that as more passive income. I know I'm talking fast, but I'm trying to be respectful of the time.
Okay, you're fine. You're fine, hon. You're doing a good job. So, real estate is not passive.
Okay.
It's active. I own several $100 million worth of real estate, and it has to be managed. There's nothing passive about real estate. Not even a piece of farmland that you do nothing with except hold the earth together. It's not even passive. My neighbor called, and one of my trees fell on his yard. I ended up having to send somebody over there for that. Not even that's passive. And there's nothing on there but dirt. I can't even get that to be passive. But if you deal with tenants, it's anything but passive. If you deal with water heaters, heat and air and roofs, it's anything but passive. So you're going to be actively involved in real estate, and you don't have the money to play in the real estate market.
Okay.
You don't have enough money to fool with it.
You have a good income.
Yeah, you have a good income, but you don't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get this straight. You have $10,000, $3,000, and $8,000. Is that the 3 debts?
No, I'm sorry. Overall, it's about a little more than $10,000. The $8,000 is credit card.
Yeah.
The $3,000 is
your
the
son's
loan.
supposed to be paying it. Yeah.
And then you got the $5,000.
He calls me the bill collector. I make him pay it every month. So he is paying that. And then $3,500 is for appliances. I needed to replace some appliances in my home.
You said that was 5.
Yeah, I thought you said it was 5 too.
I'm sorry, that is 5. I got it written down.
That's
I have
okay.
$3,000 for my son, $8,000 for credit card, $5,000 for the
So 16.
appliances.
So
And the
16
reason-
clears you?
Yes, but the reason why I said 3 is because I got my little note under here. It started off at 5. It's now down to about $3,500.
Got it. And then you've got $3,000 in cash?
Cash enough out of your mutual funds and your 401.
in cash, I have $30,000.
Yeah, you need to write a check today and pay off your debt.
Okay.
That's step
I'll just
1.
pay that off.
That's step 1.
All right.
How old are you?
56.
And how much is in your IRAs and 401ks?
In my IRA, I have about
300,000.
Yes.
Okay. Is that in good mutual funds?
No, that's in my 401k. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
My 401k is 3,000. My IRA
300,000.
300,000. Thank you.
Is that in mutual funds?
Well, it's through my job, so I don't know.
No, it's a 401k. You do know. You had to select it. You just don't remember. Okay, you need to go find out what that's invested in and make sure it's in good growth stock type mutual funds. We recommend a 4th in growth, a 4th in growth and income, a 4th in aggressive growth, and a 4th in international with good long track records. If you're doing that, you should be earning north of 12% in the last several years. Okay.
Okay, because I do know that they gave us like these boxes now that you mention it, but I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I want you to go back and double check all that after you listen to this back. It'll be on the podcast and on YouTube. You can listen to it back, okay? So it'll give you all the details. So growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. The fourth in each of those long track records that have over 10% rates of return over the last decade or so. And you ought to be making well more than that, okay? So if you're doing that, your 300 without adding anything to it will double about every 7 years. So you're 56, at 63, it'll be 600, at 70, it'll be 1.2 million. If you don't take anything out of it, if it just grows.
I don't take anything.
I know, but I'm telling you till 70, okay?
Tell us about your whole life policy.
I have, well, I got them for my kids. I have 2 of them, one for each, my son and one for my daughter. I want to get one. I just qualified.
What I want you to do is cancel all of them. They're crap.
Oh, okay.
It's the worst financial product on the planet. And use that money to build wealth and leave that to your son and daughter.
Okay.
But this is not a good place to build wealth, and dying is not a good way to create an estate. It doesn't. the math doesn't work out.
You're going to have a better rate of return investing that money in the same mutual funds that Dave was just talking about. You're going to have a higher rate of compounding interest.
Yeah.
So I do dabble, and I do use that word loosely, dabble in stock and mutual funds, and I have about $45,000 in that right now.
Yeah, I would tell you to sit down with one of our SmartVestor pros, and let's make sure that you're getting 15% of your income going into retirement, canceling the whole life policies. You can use some of that money to beef up your retirement. You're debt-free because we told you just now, write a check, pay everything off. You've got a good emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. You're in good shape there. So now all we've got to do is work towards putting 15% of your income away and getting your house paid off. And so if you'll put 15% of your income away and your current nest egg is invested well, you're going to be in really, really good shape at age 65, and you need to be in a paid-for house. So if you move into 65 with $1 million in a paid-for house, on top of a paid-for house, you're going to be in great shape. And that is what you leave your kiddos. And that's where you'll be if you do all the stuff we just outlined.
And it's so, it's clean. There's, you know what I'm saying? I'm listening to everything she said, and there's stocks and whole life, and should I do real estate?
And interest-free on the appliances.
Oh, gosh. It's just so much.
Please, don't do that stuff, y'all.
No payments until the year 3039.
Yeah. And then we're going to back charge you 38% interest through the whole stinking thing because you didn't send in the check just like we told you to, in the form we told you to send it in. Yeah, it's, guys, it's simple. Just get clean and crisp. Simple is best.
One thing at a time.
Yeah. Couple of rules on investing. As we've studied millionaires, they all use the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yep.
They really do. And they don't put money in things they don't understand. And they're steady. And they're not flashy, and they don't care what you think.
Yeah.
And these are attributes of the typical millionaire, and we've studied 10,000 of them. It's in the book Baby Steps Millionaires. The white paper of the research project is in the back of the book. You can read all the detail, and you can also read the conclusions we've drawn from the actual study and from 35 years of sitting at this desk helping people become Baby Steps Millionaires. So she's right on track. She's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
A few little adjustments. A little bit more confidence as she steps out these things, and not confidence in whole life and not confidence in fooling around with trading stocks and mutual funds. Let's just get in there and start investing. Let's just be that tortoise.
Well, that's where the bulk of her money was.
Yeah, and stay away from, there's no reason for you to do real estate. You're not in a position to. You do not have the cash to do it. Your cash is all in 401ks, and you don't have access to it right now. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.